Hello everyone. Today we are going to see a factory floor use case of OPC UA FX. So let us imagine there is a controller A that is using the data from the scanner and controls the pick and place robot. And imagine this robot as these three variables: motor position, motor speed, homing position, that is mapped to the OPC server's address space as variable type nodes. So most of us are familiar that these three values can be controlled only with OPC client-server communication, and most of us would have tried to download a client and then try to access these variables, read, write, and monitor them. But this is one of the most famous use case. But what most of us are not familiar with the OPC FX use case of: imagine these three variables has to be transferred from point A to point B, and OPC FX offers different kinds of transport layer protocols with different QoS availability. For example, imagine if this robot has to be controlled internally, these motors with for motion control applications, then we could use PubSub over raw Ethernet frames along with TSN, which offers determinism, and we can send data for every 250 microseconds, which is very high speed, and with TSN it is determinism, and every time the data reaches on time with jitter of plus or minus 5 microseconds. In the next use case, let us imagine that this controller A has to talk to controller B. This can be considered as controller to controller communication, and it ranges from cycle time of 1 millisecond up to 10 millisecond, but the data delivery again should be perfect, and this can be also achieved with a combination of PubSub over UDP along with TSN. And also TSN offers time synchronization between these two controllers, and the clocks inside these two controllers are synchronized in the level of nanoseconds, which calls for a lot of applications. So now this is what a normal factory floor looks like, and in case if you want to push these three variables to the cloud, then you would need an edge gateway or special software or a hardware that translates this data, and again you would need a different protocol to push them to the cloud. But with OPC UA, all that you need to do is use PubSub over MQTT, then you will be able to easily transfer the data from the factory floor to the cloud, along with the security of network level security, application layer security, and also transport layer security, that is TLS. SSL is also possible, and you can easily push it to the cloud applications like Azure or AWS. So this is the power of OPC UA, and that's what we believe in. So all this can be done on the go and during compile time. So imagine your device supports OPC UA FX, and your user can decide how these three variables has to be transferred. For example, during the configuration phase, they can use OPC UA client-server communication, and for real-time purposes, they can use PubSub over raw Ethernet, and for controller-to-controller communication, they can use PubSub over UDP, and for cloud applications, they can use PubSub over MQTT, which offers the industry 4.0 use cases, where you can also have AI algorithms, machine learning, and all sorts of predictive maintenance just in time. It offers endless possibilities, and this is what we are offering in our ETSN SDK, which contains the Matricon OPC UA stack, and along with lot of TSN related stacks, 802.1 AS stack, and also we provide test suite and all this in a simple bundle. So you can log on to www.etsn.io to get more information, and I hope this gives you an overall view like how OPC UA offers a lot of possibilities, although it looks complicated, but this gives the flexibility for the end user to use his data as he wants. Thank you, and please don't forget to comment, make your comments in the comment section. See you there. Bye.